Okay, YouTubers. It's a 1998 Altima, changing the rear struts. Excuse me, sweating. Alright, what you got to do to get to the bolts, which are going to be right there, you don't take nothing apart on the inside of the trunk, which, lesson learned by me. Took a little bit apart, didn't have to do it. Not much though. We go on the other side. But you do have to take the back interior apart to get to these, to get to the bolts right here. These are the bolts right underneath that black cap. Okay, the process is you take out the bottom seat first. The bottom seat, it's got two bolts. I forgot what size they are. I think like 14 millimeters, something like that, 14, 15, somewhere around there. Alright, then you got to take these side cushions off. Side cushions off, they're held on by a bolt right here. It connects down here, connects down there, and they slide, this part right here slides right into that little groove. So you take that little, after you take the seat out, you'll see the bolts that I'm talking about. They're right down, they're right up in that area somewhere. Right up in here, right there I think. Then you take that bolt out, then you slide that straight up and out. Alright, on both sides. The next thing you got to do, you got to take this panel off. Alright, all this held on is by clips. So you pry it out on this side, pry the clips off, and the whole panel comes out. Which this is the panel right here. Alright. Also, there's some plastic pieces that go across here that's held on by clips. You take that off first, which, before you try to take off this panel. Alright. So you take the seat out, take the two side covers off, you take these little panels off, you unclip this. It's held on by 6 clips. I think this is held on by what, 5 or 6 clips here, and then you take that panel off there. Now it's ready to slide this panel completely down. You got a light, at least I have a light that goes here that I had unplugged right there. So now I got total access to my bolts. So you got 3 bolts here. You'll have 2 bolts on the knuckle. You take the knuckle out, the whole assembly will come out. Now some of y'all might want to do it. I'm replacing it, the whole assembly back in, since it's a 98. A little bit more money, a lot less work for say. You know, if you don't, then you're going to have to take this off, put it in a spring compressor. Very dangerous, but I mean, I've done it. It's a lot more pain in the butt, you know, and just, it's cheaper. The only thing you're replacing is the strut. You're not replacing a spring. But the way I look at it, for for $90, okay, and I think it was like $40 shipping for all 4, 90 something dollars from what's that place? Now I can't think of it, but I'll think of it and I'll say it as I go on. Not you pull it. I hate when I get a brain fart and I can't think of it. Rock Auto. There you go. RockAuto.com. I got the Moroso. I think there was like 90 something bucks a piece. You know, for all 4. And then shipping was like 40 bucks, like 2 to 6 days. Now you could probably buy the same, these are the struts right here, and these are Morosos, and they call them quick strut. It comes everything. Comes with the whole strut, new springs, new, it's not the knuckle, this is, forgot what that is. Gotta look in the book. But all that's new. Normally when you hear a rattling, you know, something like that, normally this is what's bad. The bearing, yeah, it's a bearing up in there. But then normally that's what's bad. And another thing I would tell you, you know, I know all y'all are great mechanics and everything, but having a book, it's not a problem. If you're gonna keep the car for a while, get a book. It helps. Even though it really didn't help me too much taking all this apart, but it does help. So the next job, since, you know, kept it on the ground so it's easy access in and out, is to jack it up, which is, you know, pull off the tires. So I want to check the brakes and everything. And what I'm going to do with this car is check the brakes, put all 4 new struts, flush out the radiator. I just changed the oil probably about 2 months ago. I gotta look at my book, see when I changed the transmission fluid in the filter. See if I gotta do that. Check the air cleaner. And I don't think I've ever done the rear end fluid. So if I haven't, if I look at my book and I haven't done that, I will do that. I'll change that out and put all new fluid in there. But I'm gonna flush out the radiator, getting close to, you know, keep it all neat and nice and pretty and running, so I don't have to fool with it. Just start it up and go. But that's what it is. And while all that interior is out, I'll clean all the back, vacuum all the seats, probably get some of that seat stuff, you know, sprayed on the seats and clean up the carpet and everything. My grandbaby spilled all kind of good food down there. What's good about the car, no rust. It's solid as solid can be. I don't know if y'all can see up in there, but that's all nice and solid. No rust. I haven't seen any rust anywhere. No rust on the floors. So it's a real solid car. It's a 98. I think it's only got about maybe 80,000 miles now. We bought it when it had 50. You know, so really haven't, but you know, need to get a new windshield. That's a go-on. So I'll probably do that this week and go throw a new windshield in it. Go to a glass place and let them do that. But that's an update to right now. I just want to show you how all that comes apart in case anybody wants to do a rear strut job. And you know, I'll make videos when I'm pull out the strut and everything and show y'all that. All right, later. Let me go get it on jack stands. Later. Alright, we continue on the Altima. 3 bolts are off. I had to pull off the seat belt thing, which is 15 millimeter bolts, just so I can get to that back bolt over there. Yeah, 3 bolts. And when you put the new strut in, it goes in a certain way. You know, so just remember that. You come down here, remove the top bolts first, and then you take the bolt off of here and here, which connects to the knuckle. And I really don't like this too much. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a bracket. Well, most of them, there's just a clip, but this bracket, you pull it off the bolt that's already welded to the strut. Now you gotta be careful, because if you pull it too far, this is a hard line. You don't want to bend it. Now they give you enough room to get it out of there, but if you pull it real hard, you possibly can kink the line at the fitting. So you gotta kind of, you know, don't go ape with it. All right, and then you gotta take off the arm. This arm, which is I think a 15 millimeter bolt too. These are 17 millimeter bolts right here and there. Okay, so really she's ready to come off. I'll pop these bolts out. That's out. You just pull it out and pull that, and then we can put the new one in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That's pretty much it to it, and then you reassemble it back the same way you took it off. and you go back and do the other side, then you can put your interior back together. Now, the way I do it is that I'm going to put my two struts back on, and I made a comment before, which I feel like an idiot, but I'll say what I said wrong. I said I was going to change rear end fluid. This car don't even have a rear end, and I forgot all about that. I don't fool with this car much, but it's all up front. So that's one less thing off my list I don't have to worry about. But all the bushings and everything underneath here look pretty good. So we're just gonna butt it back together and replace the, this is all bad and stuff like that. The bump spot is broken. So yeah, it's definitely time to be replaced. 98. It's got like 80,000 miles, so it should make it ride a lot better. Replace all 4 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, fellas. I don't think y'all really need to see that. As long as y'all know how to take it apart and everything. Pretty much show that, and the other side is gonna be the same thing. So this is pretty much gonna end the video for the rear struts. I'll show it. I guess not. I guess I'll make another video after it's all put back together and everything. These are struts, and then you just kind of put everything back together on the side. You got to torque everything down. So that's what the book is good for. It'll tell you your torque specs. So make sure you torque your boats. Would be a bad idea to put some anti-siege on these boats, just so they don't gall or whatever. And so if you ever have to take them off again, they're a lot easier for the next person to take them off. And that's about it, fellas. I'll show you another video when I get it back together later. Alright, fellas. Now the strut's in. It's all bolted down. I gotta go get the torques. It's brand new. Got it all up in there. So that's a done deal. The easiest way that I see is that you push it up to the top. If you had somebody to help you, that'd be great. Tell them to start the bolts. So it'll just hang from the top. And then you can get the knuckle in place. And then just pretty much persuade the knuckle. It's a little tight because it's brand new. So that's done. I gotta do the other side. I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. Probably just gonna do this tonight. Just hook up my lights. And you see that I got air tools. Pretty much, but you can do it with hand tools. Just metric. All the standard sizes. You can do it with standard tools too. I just do it with power tool. Air tools just to make it go a little faster. I have to bust out my torque wrench and torque it all down the specs, and it'll be good to go. They even got the this one. The OEM has a gasket. This one didn't come up with a gasket, but it did have like a little rubber seal. So that should be good enough. It's a little bit pain in the ass to do it by one person. 2 people will be a lot easier. You can get somebody up in there to. What I did, I just used the bottle jack, put it underneath the A-frame, just jacked it up into the bolts came up top, and then just started the bolts up there, and then ran them down with the air ratchet, and not all the way. Give me a little wiggle room, and just didn't put in the knuckle. Lined the holes up in the knuckle. Use a screwdriver to help me do that. I probably should have used a punch. It would have been a lot. I could have, put it all the way through the hole. Probably would have did a better job. Probably do that on the other side, but just use a regular screwdriver, a thin one. So that's it, fellas. It's pretty straightforward. After that, you just put it back together as you took it apart. But thank y'all very much. Hope you keep on watching. and I'll make another video of the front. All right, thank you. Bye.